Hey guys, and today I'm going to be showing you a very simple and probably the most well-known / used method for doing custom arrows, as you just saw before. So we're going to go over 3 types of arrows. I'll show you 3 examples, and we're going to go over the general method of doing them. I'm going to show you both commands, and then I'm going to show you the best way, which would be data packs, but I'll leave timestamps so you guys know when things start and when things end. The commands I'll just kind of brush through. It really doesn't take that long to explain this, but anyways, so let's get started. Now, the method that I'm going to be showing today is using tipped arrows. As you haven't maybe already guessed, there's many advantages to tipped arrows, but we're going to be using tipped arrows using a potion effect that does not necessarily do anything or might not be that useful. And you can choose whatever effect, and I'll get into that in a second here, but let me just show you all the types of arrows we're going to be doing. We're going to be TNT arrow, which summons a creeper. We're going to do lightning arrow, which does lightning, and we're going to do poison arrow, which summons poison. So let's get into how to do these 3. Alright, so I know you might see this arrow scoreboard on the side, but ignore that if you're doing command method. We'll get into it in the Datapack method, but we're going to set up these commands anyways. So I'm going to do Datapack disable. So now you know that the Datapack is doing nothing. There's no trickery. Whatever you see me do here does work, and really, and this should work in 1.13, 1.14, 1.15, and 1.16. Alright, so we need to find arrows on the ground, and specifically these special arrows. So let's go ahead and look into what these arrows do. And I have MC Stacker pulled up here with the exact code that I used to generate the arrows. So what I did is I did a tipped arrow, and I hid other so that you don't see the potion effect. I made it a water potion just so it really did nothing, but you can pick any of these, it doesn't really matter. I was just messing around with that. And then custom color lets you pick what color you want it to be. So in this case, red. But you can pick any color, and it's really cool because the item can be any color you want. Alright, anyways. So then we pick a potion effect. I picked mining fatigue just because, well, typically most people pick luck, and you do it for 1 tick, so it lasts like no time at all. And then you give a different amplifier to indicate which one it is. Of course, luck you might be able to abuse if you like hit a teammate with luck. So I mean, you can use luck, you can use bad luck, or you can use mining fatigue. I just have mining fatigue because it's like the least useful thing that I can think of. It lasts 1 second and does not have any possibility. Like maybe if you had 125 luck as one of your IDs, and then somebody hits somebody with luck, and then they kill a mob, and then they just get a bunch of drops or something. But you can mess with whatever you want in terms of that. And show particles, I guess you could add that to be no. Anyways, so I'm going to go with mining fatigue. You can pick any potion you want. Anyways, so mining fatigue, you leave it as a 1 tick, and you give it a ID amplifier. So the amplifier is going to basically let you pick, like, is this a lightning arrow or is this a TNT arrow? And that's what you're going to do, because let's go ahead and copy this. I'll just have the raw command for you instead of the one that I've added some extra stuff to. So this will give me a arrow of splashing. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot it. And in the ground, let's go ahead and look at what data it has. So data get entity at e type equals arrow, limit equals 1. All right, and then let me also show you, actually, let me do something. I'm going to give a fake tag to this. So special 1b, just so that you can definitely see what the problem might lie in. So I have a special 1b arrow. So when I do the data get, you can look through this yourself, but the special 1b doesn't exist anywhere. There's no data that you get to know about the actual item before it hit the ground. You're able to see what block it's in, you're able to see that it's in the ground, and you're able to see what effect it has. That is the custom potion effect. So we're going to get this custom potion effect, and we're going to look for it. So we're going to do execute as at e type equals arrow. And we're going to copy this for the MBT. So MBT, custom potion effects. And we're just going to use this method here where you go inside. So now you're inside the array. Again, still copying it, but we're just going to put ID 4B. And if you have a different effect, then you would use a different ID number. All right, so then we close the brackets and we close it. So this will do all of them, and this will say hi to anything that matches custom potion effects. Oh, it's gone. That's why. So it'll say hi for them. But you want to do only when it's in the ground. So we're going to add this extra MBT of in ground 1b. So now it'll only do it in the ground. So let's do a repeating command block. And once we move on to the data packs, I'll whiz through some of this stuff. So we do this data pack, and then when I shoot it, it'll say hi when it hits the ground. All right, cool. So now we're going to add some special stuff. Since we're using command blocks, there's really not much efficiency that you can go through, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. So Amplifier 11B. So I decided to go with 11 because just in case you want to like actually give some mining fatigue for some reason, you might want to use a bigger amplifier, maybe even as high as 100 to store your custom ones, just assuming that most players won't use those levels because you don't want to overlap. So if it's 11, then at that entity, summon, and this is going to need to summon a creeper. So we're going to make a creeper on MC Stacker, and we're going to set its fuse ignited true, fuse 0. So it'll blow up immediately. So we do that. Okay, so this is activated. I'm going to give myself this one. The only difference in the items is I changed the amplifier to 11, and I added a custom name of TNT arrow. So I'm going to click that, and when I shoot it, ooh, let's see. It had an issue, something it didn't like. Oh, okay. So you're going to see a bunch of explosions. Now we basically just have to do something to kill that. So let's add a second command, chain, and let's do change this from the word as to the word kill. And I guess in this case, you wouldn't want to repeat this too many times, so I will just delete that for now. But of course, that might have some issues later on, so you might want to specify if you're using that potion effect on other arrows for some reason other than this purpose. But yeah, there you go. So you have the basic effect. Now, if you want to have other ones, then you just expand this. I guess I'll do all three of them. So let's go ahead and do this. Summon lightning bolt if it has 12. Oh, that was the wrong number. 12. Okay. And then summon. Oh, sorry if you see this data pack. I just don't want to have to create the poison again. Okay. We need to copy this and paste it here. So instead of summoning a creeper, you summon area effect cloud, and that's if it's 13. And boom, just like that, we have give myself one of these, give myself one of these, put this in my offhand, lightning, and poison. Okay, so those work. Now there's one more issue we have to account for, and this is where things are going to get a little annoying. So we also know that if this thing hits an entity, which is the good thing of using potion effects, we're gonna have to check it. So we're gonna go up 3, and now these 3 are going to be duplicates, but for entities. So if it hits something, you won't be able to detect the arrow. The arrow's gone. So you need to basically say anything that's not an arrow. And instead of looking for custom potion effects, you're looking for something called ActiveEffects. So data get entity address ActiveEffects. Okay, and then I can give myself the effect. Effect give address mining fatigue. Then when I do that, you can see that ActiveEffects is indeed the title of this, and then you have something with ID for B, same as before, amplifier, and we're going to look for 11B. So that's what we're going to do. So we go into here and change it to ActiveEffects, just like I have done, and you remove the inGround tag. So this will tag any entity that's not an arrow that has the ActiveEffects and summon a creeper, and summon a lightning, and summon a custom thing. So we're just going to copy this all the way from, ooh, it's so hard to work in command blocks, but I'm doing this for you guys. All right, so summon poison. Okay, and then amplifier 13, and summon lightning bolt. Oh, easiest one. And then change it to 12. And that completes the system. Anytime you want to add a new arrow, you need one for each thing that the thing does, which is why data packs are going to be better, because if you're doing more than just summon, you want to have particles and stuff, then it's better to use it in a data pack because you'll have less commands. So if I summon a villager, now when I hit him with TNT, it will actually explode. and it will also explode on the ground. All right, so that's all the command stuff. If you're not into data packs, I guess you can go, but we're going to do data packs now. So I created a fresh data pack. This will be in the description. You can take it, look at it, but it's just a regular data pack with a main and an init function. And I'm just gonna go over the commands I use because they're not much different from the command blocks. So we have a main and an init function. The init creates the arrow scoreboard. We're gonna need a scoreboard for this called arrows, and you'll see why. So then and this is where it differs from the commands. It's going as any arrow that is in the ground with the custom potion effect of 4b. We don't check for the amplifier. Then we play this thing called directory. All right, and then as any entity that has ActiveEffects, tag of 4b, play to the directory. Same function, they go to the same place, whether you are an arrow or you are not an entity. So this helps with compression already. Now we go into directory and let's see what this does. So if this is an arrow, then store a fake player's score, and the percent just means that like if somebody joins and somehow their name is list, it won't have any problems because nobody can have a percent sign as the first character in their username. Anyways, so it stores onto this score the value of the amplifier. So now this score, you can see that it's 13 right now. That's because it read the 13 and stored it on the amplifier. And it does the same for ActiveEffects if it's not an arrow. So what you end up having is just a scoreboard that correlates to what type of arrow it is. So you just check, is the scoreboard 11? Then run this function. Is the scoreboard 12? Run this function. Is the scoreboard 13? Run this function. And then kill it if it's an arrow. All right, and then TNT literally just summons the creeper. Lightning summons lightning. Poison summons poison. So now I can disable this. Datapack enable. File/custom arrows. And yet again, our functions still work. And this will be pretty much the most efficient way you can do it. You're going to have to, sadly, do 2 MBT checks, which is probably the most powerful selector you can use, but it's worth it for the sake of you only have 2 ever. That's it. You're just having 2 for this whole kind of feature, which is pretty good. And you can have as many types as you want. Whereas if you did it in command blocks, you would have to have 2 MBT checks for each type, which is the difference. So if you have 100 arrows, the thing will be more than 100 times faster using this method. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. Download in the description. If you guys thought that was cool or want to see other things, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like. That really lets me know what you guys want to see more of. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.